students and welcome to our YouTube channel Gnan Manjari Modern School. So in the previous video, two videos, we have just started new chapter, that is chapter number 2, components of the food. Okay, so what are the main, there are 5 types of the components which we have seen in your textbook in the introduction part. So that were carbohydrates, fats, protein, minerals, vitamins. Okay students, from that we have just studied the carbohydrates, and carbohydrates they have just further divided into how many parts, that was sugar and starch. Okay, they have divided carbohydrates further into 2 parts, that is sugar and starch. So we all know that sugar we can just take from the fruits, table sugar and the other things, and starch from the potatoes and other vegetables we get the starch. Okay students, and moving further to the fats, but before that we have also seen the I will say that we have also seen the activities from which we can say that carbohydrates are present, and from that carbohydrate the sugar is present or the starch is present in that or not. Okay, then after we have just moved towards the fats. So fats, there are also 2 types of fats, but fats, how it is used, the fats are used. If I say that the fats just maintain our body temperature and keeps our body warm, and also we get energy from the fats, and we will get more energy from the fats. Okay students, comparative to the carbohydrate. And there are 2 types of the fats. The first one, that is which is solid at the room temperature, and the other one that is liquid at the room temperature. The solid, if we just talk about the solid, then it is butter, and if we just talk about the liquid, that is vegetable oil. Okay, so these 2 types of the solids we have seen. So let us discuss about, first of all, revise the fats, and what are there which we have seen in the previous video. So here, fats keeps our body warm and provides us energy. Fats are of 2 types, that is those which are mostly solid at room temperature, that is butter, and those which are mostly liquid at room temperature, that is vegetable oil. Oil, ghee, nuts, butter, cream and cheese are the rich sources of fats. Fats are also present in milk, fish, meat and eggs. Okay, so here fats gives us much more energy than carbohydrate. A limited amount of the fat is important in our diet for healthy functioning of the food. Healthy functioning of the body. So here they have also told us that fat, we just consume fat in the minimum or the limited amount in our body. Why? Because if we just inhale more fats, then what happens? This fat just store this in a cell which is known as the fat cell. Okay, so which just further can cause our heart diseases. Okay, then after here, however, eating too much of fat can be harmful. Excess amount of fats consumed are stored in cells called the fat cells in the body. Over a period of time, this leads to a condition called obesity. Okay, and may also cause the heart disease. Junk food such as sweets, chips, fries, burgers, candies and soft drinks are harmful because they are providing the nutrient content but have a high amount of fats and sugars. Now here we just come to the proteins, our new topic, that is proteins. That is proteins. So here, what is proteins? Here, how the proteins, from which are the rich sources of protein. So here, our muscles, organs and even blood is made up of protein along with other things. Here, what things are made from the proteins? So you have to write that our muscles organs and Okay, that is made up of proteins with the other things. Okay, proteins, from the proteins what things are made, it can be asked, then we have to write our muscles, organs and even blood is made of proteins and also other things. Okay, then after, next point, our body needs protein for building, muscle building and repairing worn out tissue. Here, how the proteins are used, what is the work of the protein, then you here write proteins for muscle building and repairing worn out tissue. Okay, here how the proteins are, why the proteins are needed for our body. So here, for building muscle building and repairing worn out tissues, so proteins are used for that, and it is also needed for what, for building muscle building and repairing worn out tissues. Okay, so the next point, that is, if we don't eat the required amount of the proteins, our body was not able to repair damaged cells or build new. Here, if we just don't inhale the enough amount of the protein, then it will not repair the tissues and we will not make the new cells. Okay, so here the next point I will write, that is, if we don't eat the required amount of proteins, our body will not be able to repair damaged cell or build new one. Okay, so if we just not take the enough amount of the proteins which is required for our body, then it will not be repair the damaged cells or build the new ones. Okay, so what will happen, we all have different body structure, different stamina, and all the things are different. Okay, so I required some amount of the proteins, and if we just talk about the children, then they required enough amount of the protein, their needed is different and mine needed is different. And if we just take the old people, then their required amount of the protein is different. Okay students, so all these have different needs of the proteins. Then after the next point, that is rich sources of proteins, that are rich sources of animal protein. So animal protein animal protein that are meat, fish, eggs and milk, and rich sources of plant protein are pulses, soybean, grams and nuts. Okay, you can see the picture is also given. Animal proteins and plant proteins, chicken, milk, egg and fish. And in here plant protein, that is pulses, green peas, groundnuts, chickpea and soya bean. Okay, so these are some of the rich sources of animal protein and plant protein. Okay, so here talking about from the first the proteins. So the proteins are needed for our body, and what they just do, the proteins are present in our muscles, organs and even blood with the other things. Okay, proteins are present there. Then after, how the proteins, what the protein do? So here that is proteins do muscle building and repairing worn out tissue. And here also, if we just don't eat the required amount of the proteins, what will be there? Body will not be able to repair damaged cells or build the new ones. And here animal proteins are meat, fish, eggs and milk. And then after, plant proteins are pulses, soya beans, grams and nuts. Okay, they are all the plant proteins and animal proteins. Okay, so this is all about the proteins. Okay, moving further, you will see an activity which is given over here. Okay, but before that I am just reading it again. All protein, our muscles, organs and even blood is made up of protein along with the other things. Our body needs protein for building muscle building and repairing worn out tissues. If we do not eat the required amount of the proteins, our body will not be able to repair damaged cells or build new ones. Rich sources of animals' proteins are meat, fish, eggs and milk. Rich sources of plant proteins are pulses, soya beans, grams and nuts. Figure 2.3 shows animal as well as plant sources of proteins. And here moving towards the activity in which we can find out that if in the food the proteins are there or not. So here in the activity aim is to test the presence of protein in a food sample. Here materials needed, that is food sample, water, copper sulfate solution, sodium hydroxide, test tube and Bunsen burner. Method: crush a small amount of the foodstuff if solid and add it to the test tube. Add some amount of water to the test tube, shake it well. Next, heat the test tube for 1 minute. After the test tube has cooled, add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and sodium hydroxide solution to it. Observation: the food sample turns purple or violet, then you can say that the proteins are present over here. Okay. Here first in this activity what you have to do, that if we will just have to find out that if the proteins are present in the food sample or not. First you have to just crush the food and put it into the test tube. So what happens? Then after you have to add the water in it and heat the test tube for 1 minute. And then after you have to just cool the test tube. After cooling the test tube, you have to add copper sulfate solution and sodium hydroxide solution in that, and if there is a purple color solution, then the protein is present in that food. Okay students, so this is all about the activity. Now moving forward to the new component of the food, that is vitamins. Okay, so there will be different kinds of the vitamins. Let us see that. So now talking about the vitamins. So vitamins. So first of all, how the vitamins are useful. So here it is written, our body needs vitamins and minerals for its normal functioning and prevention from the disease. Vitamins helps keeping our eyes, bone, teeth and germs healthy. Okay, vitamins are of two types, fat soluble and water soluble. So here, how the vitamins are useful for our body. So for the normal functioning, means the normal function which is done by our body, for that the vitamins are used. And also for what it is used for the prevention from the diseases, that if we just eat the enough amount of the vitamins in our body, then what will happen? The disease will not come to our body. Okay students, now moving forward, they have just categorized the vitamins into two parts. That is, first one, fat soluble vitamins, and the another it has just categorized, that is water soluble vitamins. Okay, fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Okay, these are the two types of the vitamins. Let us first of all see the fat soluble vitamins. So here the fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E and K. These vitamins are stored in the fat tissues of the body and as used as and when the body needs them. Vitamin D is also prepared by our body in presence of sunlight. So here first what they have said, that is fat soluble vitamins are which? Vitamin A, D, E and K. These are the fat soluble vitamins and they are present in the fat tissues of the body. Okay, stored in the fat tissues of the body. Stored in the fat tissues of the body. Okay, and it is used when the body needs them. Then the other, vitamin D is also prepared by our body in presence of sunlight. Means if you want just vitamin D, then the morning sunlight just keep your body vitamin D. Okay, then after water soluble vitamins that are water soluble and vitamins, that is vitamin C, and vitamin B complex. Okay, they are the water soluble vitamins. So here water soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body and therefore needed to be regularly supplied through food. They cannot be stored in the body. These vitamins cannot be water soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body. Okay, cannot be stored in the body. So therefore it should be supplied regularly to the body. Here talking about the vitamins, here they have categorized the vitamins into two parts, that is fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. So first of all, what are the fat soluble vitamins? So here the fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K are the fat soluble vitamins. Then after, where they are stored? The fat soluble vitamins are stored where? In the fat tissues of the body, and when the body needs that vitamins, they just take from that. But the water soluble vitamins, they are vitamin C and vitamin B complex. They are the water soluble vitamins and they can't be stored in our body. So therefore when it is needed, you have to take with the water. Okay, that is water soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body. Okay students, so these are the vitamins, and let us talk about the rich sources of vitamins. They are eggs, lemons, spinach, fish, milk and carrots. They are the rich sources of vitamins. Here I am again reading that our body needs vitamins and minerals for its regular normal functioning and prevention of the disease. Vitamins help in keep our eyes, bones, teeth and gums healthy. Vitamins are of two types, fat soluble and water soluble. Fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K. These vitamins are stored in the fat tissues of the body and used and when the body needs them. Vitamin D is also prepared by our body in the presence of sunlight. Water soluble vitamins are vitamin C and vitamin B complex, a group of vitamins that is B1, B2, B3, B6 and B12 and folic acid. Water soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body and therefore needed to be regularly supplied through food. Lack of vitamins in the body affects the functioning of the body organ and causes deficiency diseases. Figure 2.4 shows the sources of the vitamins. Here the rich sources are eggs, lemons, spinach, fish, carrots and milk. So these are the rich sources of vitamins. Okay students, here in today's video we have just seen about what? About the what thing? We have seen in this video the two things. Okay, which thing we have seen? That was first, that was proteins, and the another that was vitamins. Okay students, so here in the proteins, what it was there? The proteins, the rich sources of the protein, and there are two types of the proteins. Which are there two types? Do you remember that, or I have to just repeat that again? Okay, now here let us revise the proteins and vitamins again, and in next video we will just move towards the minerals. Okay, then after here proteins. So here in the proteins we have seen that proteins are present in where? Muscles, organs and even bloods. And how the proteins are required, that is for building muscle building and repairing worn out tissues. And if we just don't eat the enough amount of the protein, what happens? Our body will not be able to repair disease or build new ones. Okay, and the rich sources of animal proteins are meat, fish, eggs and milk. And rich sources of plant proteins are pulses, soya beans, grams and nuts. And then after we have seen the activity, and here we have seen the vitamins. So there are two kinds of the vitamins, that is fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. Okay, so fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K, and water soluble vitamins are vitamin C and vitamin B complex. So here we just complete our video, and in your homework what you just do is in your homework write about proteins. Okay, and the another question, that is write about vitamins. Okay, write about proteins and write about vitamins. This is your homework, and you have to submit in your respective group, and we will meet in the next video. Okay, bye students.